Turn them into the big pen, boys. Robert's hooking up the sprockets for the corn head. He's coupling the head here. Okay, take 3. My camera was doing funky stuff. To couple this header to this combine, it has some ears that go up in this toolbar and catch it. And then you have these pins right here that hold it on to the feeder house. And then what actually turns the header is you have 2 sprockets here. You slide them together and you run this double chain over them. And you slide that cuff over them and that holds the chain on your sprockets. So what we're dealing with here is yesterday we found this. And I don't know if the bearing has seized up or what, but the shaft has some wear on it. You can actually grab the shaft and wiggle it. I don't know if you can see that or not, it wiggle in the bearing. So we're going to replace the bearing, lock tight, make some stuff to repair worn shafts like that. So we don't have to pull this shaft unless we just have to, because this shaft runs through the feeder house reverser on the other side, and you have to take the feeder house reverser apart to change it. So we're going to back this header out, turn it on. We got some used engine oil we're going to use on it to oil the chains. Y'all hear how much quieter that header is now that's got that chain on them molds? On these roll unit things, this roll unit right here ain't sounding exactly right. We've got some chattering in one of these chains, is this one right here, I believe. And the block's kind of turned cockeyed, so I'm going to loosen this up, knock it around. It's pushing the chain out, making it chatter, I think. We're going to try that first. Oh yeah, much better. Them old chains get stiff sitting there all winter. Sometimes we oil them before we put them up for the winter. That's the better option, but we don't always do it. Depends on how much time we have between corn harvest and bean harvest. But that oil, with them running, will work its way in them pans and loosen them up, and it'll protect them till we get ready to start shelling corn. Let's let them run it fast one more time. It'll get better the longer it runs. Good morning. Friday, August the 26th. And as you can see in the background, we still got the combine out. I ain't done with these yet. But the claw is out. I don't know if you can see it or not, but this pine tree right here is dead, and it is dropping limbs and stuff on our catch pen, so we're fixing to take it down. Dylan bought some casts, and we're cleaning up this fence right here so we can check fence and all. And when we mow, these roots right here are giving us some problems mowing, so I think he's gonna rip them up. But yeah, that pine tree right there, this one with the bark on, is dead. So we got the claw out. Gotta be careful with this limb because the wire that runs to the bins over there is right there. Another reason we're doing this is to maybe if we have a big storm, them limbs won't fall on the line there. Probably sitting in a bad spot. Let's go. Much better. Oh, it broke the junction box off. I don't know if we'll have to get another motor or we'll be able to do that one. And then it broke our brace here. Pulled it out. It could have been worse. It was good, no, but it could have been worse. So this is something we hadn't had to do in quite a while. Grind and feed for the hog. This is last year's corn we're grinding on. We filled this bin to right here, so we've used, that much in a year. I ain't been running near the number of hogs I've run in the past. Does his hogs on just a few acres farms. Turn into the big pen, boys. So we're working on greasing the head, and to do that you pull this plug and then you put grease in from the bottom end, and you stop putting grease in when you see the grease roll up in that hole there, and then you put your plug back in. So we run the grease that's specifically designed for this header. It's John Deere corn header grease. This is some really good grease in my opinion. It turns into kind of like a gear oil while it's in there, a real thick gear oil. It's made, especially when it gets hot, but it's made specifically for gearboxes. We've used it in gearboxes and other stuff. It works really, really well. You can run regular grease in these and do fine, but I like to run what was specifically made for it. And this is a great assembly grease if you're putting stuff together to coat O-rings and stuff with to put together, because it's thin. It lubricates stuff, but yet it still slides together easily. See the grease rolling up in there. Keep it pumping. Depending on how much you use it, depends on how much, the year before depends on how much grease it takes to refill them. We use 2 tubes, so about 1/3 of a tube per row. Robert's greasing the idler sprockets now. He swapped over to our red Schaefer's grease. We'll go back here, and when he finishes that up, we'll go back here and grease the gear case on our straw walker drive. We typically grease that once per year. Alright, so right here you see that silver is an aluminum gear case. Deere originally had that filled with gear oil, and then they had a clear sight tube that come down here, come along here, and came to right here where you saw the sight level. Well, over time that clear sight tube would dry rot and crack, and it would dump all your oil out while you was running and ruin your gear case for your straw walker drive. So the solution is to get you a piece of hose made up. We just got a piece of hydraulic hose made up and routed around here and fixed it with a grease zerk on the end of it. And we run, we grease it, and it runs, all the gears run in grease instead of oil. We tried to run cornhead grease in this as much as possible, but we finished up on that last row unit, and there wasn't no sense in putting a full tube of cornheader grease in, so we swapped over to our red grease. But just, you know, 5 or 6 pumps in there to push some more grease in there is not going to hurt it. You know, you don't want to do that every year. We're going to grease the rest of the machine, but that's going to be a different day. We're going to go over it. We got to get in a grain tank. There's a drive shaft up there that's got to be greased. That's a pretty important part of the combine. We try to do project videos, but with so much going on right now, we may swap to a day-by-day format. You know, one day, you know, half a video may be us working on a corn head, and half the video may be working on us, seeing us working on a combine, and part of it might be us spraying something. So for right now, we're going to swap to a day-by-day format until we get to a format where you get focused on an individual project. Well, there's my latest acquisition. We went to the sale barn today, Ridgely Livestock and Auctions. That's our beef for the next year. Those 2 little calves, those are Dad's. He bought them, but weighed 650. I got another big Hereford calf out there in Daddy's pasture somewhere. We'll take them down there to the shop and turn them loose and put him on some feed. Get that big Hereford calf rounded up, put him with him, and we'll have beef for the upcoming year. Daddy's prize winning chickens. And I'll include some clips from the local sale barn. For the past 2 weeks I've been there, the cattle market seems really strong. But we'll include some clips of the sale barn for y'all to see.
Several weigh-ins here, but it's going to be 32 head total. Oh, but good stuff, I just tell you. 30 gentle, we loaded a bunch of them in the dark. With the phone lines, they work for you. And then bumping in 90. Another way to a creek feeder.
I just make two of them. It's been a long time since I seen celebrated that big. Like 32 days they want to sell in this group. I ain't seen that since the early 90s, since a kid in here.
785 average right there, 785 average. With the next one. All right, boys, good cattle, good price for them. 32, 25,000 pounds, 115. And what are you thinking about? And here, down there, $171, $160, okay. 165 now, 162 and a half, now 162 and a half, now 163, now hay, 163 and a half, 163 and a half, 63 and a half, 163 and a half, forward, 164 now hay, 164 and a half, 164 and a half, 164 and a half, 64 and a half, 5, and 65, 165 now hay, 65 and a half, 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 165 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 and a half. 165 and a half, 165 and a half, 165 and a half, 165 tally.